Welcome, everyone, from across Ontario and around the world to another entertaining broadcast of live curling right here from Title Sports Live. This morning we have live coverage of the men's Recharge with Milk Provincial Tankard coming to you from the Canada Summit Centre in Huntsville, Ontario. Some great curling being made here as we celebrate this 91st championship. My name is Ian Tetley and I'm joined by my esteemed colleague Mary Childers, a two-time former Scotties champion in her own right and losing to Sandra Schmerler in the 1997 final when she played with Alison Goring. This morning's matchup is going to feature Mark BICE from the Sarnia Golf and Country Club up against Mark KEAN from the Woodstock Curling Centre in Woodstock, Ontario. Obviously, last night, Mary, we were entertained with a great A final between 55-year-old Glenn Howard and John Epping, and Glenn Howard came through on that A side, so he will go directly into the 1-2 page playoff game on Saturday afternoon.
That's right. Glenn Howard, I think we're going to call him Houdini from now on. He pulled out some magic tricks last night and just showed everybody what he's still got in him.
Definitely. It's nice to see him be a big kid. Obviously, today's games are going to feature two of the B-side games. Obviously, our feature game there with Mark KEAN up against Mark BICE. And the other B-side game is going to have Joe Franz up against John Epping. So that's the B semifinal game. And then this afternoon, we will have the B final game. And then the other two games on tap out here is going to have two C-side games, which we're going to have Greg Baldson's team up against Rob Retchless and Cody Moss's team up against Mike McLean.
That's right. So two of those teams are going to be going home today.
Well, and they're going to fall into a spot, and then obviously you've got Richard Krell and Sebastian Robillard, who are still alive on the C side, and they're going to be waiting for two of these B-side losers to fall down, and they have to play them this afternoon as well. So we've got some entertaining curling ahead of you this morning, so sit back with your cup of coffee and let's tune in and watch what's going on here. Obviously, the practices are just finishing up, and obviously our two teams. First up there, Mary.
Yeah, so we've got skip Mark BICE. Third is Aaron Squires. Tyler Morgan plays second position, and Steve BICE plays lead on this BICE team.
Obviously, the BICE team being former Ontario champions with the Greg Balsden team before as skip in 2014. And up against that team is going to be the Mark KEAN team from Woodstock, Ontario. Mark also the 2015 Ontario champion, so he knows what it's like to be in the hunt and in the fray. Mark's team of third Colin Dow, second Brad Kidd, and lead Scott Brandon. Real young team. Mark actually went to the Briar with a young team before, and here he is with another new team, and they're back in the fray here. So,
yeah.
I think this is going to be a very, very entertaining game. These couple of young teams that want this thing.
Yeah, it's our first look at both of these teams. They actually played against each other just once this season, and I believe KEAN won that game. No, BICE won that game. Both teams have some members that have played in the Briar, like you said, Ian. So I expect a pretty evenly matched game here this morning.
Well, Mark BICE's team is currently 37th on the World Curling Tour Order of Merit versus Mark KEAN, who's number 49 on the World Curling Tour Order of Merit. So they are fairly evenly matched, and it's interesting. We've got someone like John Epping, who's number 8, and you've got Glenn Howard, who's number 17. When you've got Glenn Howard as number 17 in the world, it kind of tells you sort of the level of curling right now that is going on.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of competitive teams out there, and it's tough to be in that top 10. You've almost got to be doing this every day. It's almost a profession.
Exactly. Yeah. So these two teams did drop one game so far this week. BICE lost actually to Epping, and KEAN did lose to Howard. That's how they got down here in the B side.
Well, that's interesting. And both these teams are probably looking for another shot at both those top two teams.
Yeah.
I know John Epping's team is going to be looking to rebound against Joe Franz here this morning. Obviously, he wants another shot at Glenn Howard, who's seemingly been his nemesis over the years.
Yeah. Yeah, it was such an exciting ending to that game last night when Glenn Howard made that a run back pick.
No.
Took 4 points, and that was handshakes.
Obviously, two other games out here that are alive on Seaside. Obviously, Greg Baldston and Rob Retchless. I know Greg Baldston's kind of feels like I spoke with him last night. He says he's throwing it really good, and he says they're just not getting the results right now. So, he's looking to rebound. He takes a little bit of confidence from someone like Holly Duncan that on the ladies' side, that actually at the Scotties this year, she reeled off 6 wins in a row, and that's exactly what Greg needs to do right now.
Yep, it can be done for sure. 2 spots, so the A side gets a spot, the B side gets a
guys play. Like I know Mark BICE is not scared to get rocks in play. Mark KEAN might be a little bit more conservative, but they're both gunslingers as well.
Well, I think these two teams also got the bye in the first round with Howard and Epping, so I believe were all seated at the top of the rosters this week. So these guys are no slouches.
The BICE's team hasn't played nearly as much as KEAN's team, so you wonder if KEAN's team might be sort of the initial favorite going into this game. Mark KEAN's team's played about they've played about 48 games so far to date, and they're currently 34 and 15. So as compared to Mark BICE, they've only played about 29 games when they're 18 and 11. So doesn't tell you, because the one thing these guys do, they kind of play a little bit more on what I would call the B circuit in Ontario.
Yeah.
They're not traveling and playing in the Grand Slams like a John Epping or a Glenn Howard.
Right.
So they're playing in that sort of that secondary loop, which is still a really good competitive loop, and I think that's one of the reasons why I think Ontario's got a great history of producing great champions that go on to great things, is because we do have this secondary circuit.
Right.
It's almost like the web.com tour that produces champions that go on to the PGA tour. We're at this beautiful Canada Summit Center here in Huntsville, Ontario. Initially built in 2010 for the G8 conference.
Yeah, there's a couple of.
I heard a little bit of gossip yesterday, Ian, about so out in Manitoba, I believe their men's provincials is going on right now, and Mike McEwen is he contracted the chicken pox and is in the hospital.
Wow.
And so they're playing with 3.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
In the hospital for chickenpox.
Well, when you get chickenpox as an adult, it's actually quite dangerous. Yeah.
That's right. You can become sterile.
Yeah.
If I'm not, correct. I should know that.
So this is that's a bummer for that team, and I hope Mike is doing well, obviously, but.
Well, it's got to be difficult too, because his wife is in the Scotties playdowns right now out in Penticton, still competing this week. Obviously, playing lead for Jennifer Jones.
Yeah.
So Mark KEAN has won the draw to the button here, and we are having our opening stone here by 36-year-old Steve BICE, lead man for the Mark BICE team. Brothers playing together. Could you play with your brother or sister?
Yeah, probably not. There are so many siblings that play this game together, though. It's really neat.
Very good.
And lots of twins.
Well, it's nice to see Mark throw the center guard, and we're going to get right into this first end. Mark KEAN's lead, Scott Brandon, the 27-year-old from Midland, Ontario. Being from Midland, I wonder if he got any training as a younger kid from Wayne Madon, Glen Howard.
Right, yeah.
4 back 8. I think it's back there anyway. Yep. Go call. I think Mark's back. Yeah, came to a halt.
And he's going to go deep here, so this is going to give Steve BICE the opportunity here to come down and freeze on that.
We're just seeing that so much, Ian, with those first lead rocks in the beginning of the game going to the back of the house.
Back to it.
This one's going back as well.
Well, I think Mark would actually love it to be
Yeah.
frozen right on it and just to basically negate the stone.
Yeah.
So well done by Steve BICE.
Yeah. Great draw. Top 4.
Mark's going to continue down this out-turn path.
Where?
Scott Brandon.
Top 4. Where? Top 4.
We'll keep everybody posted with all the scores here today.
Call it in.
This one looking a little lighter. That's
Really
15-8 hog to hog.
You get wider there?
And he's going to come up short.
A little bit. This won't be crazy. You're a little wider, so.
Mark BICE will now switch gears with Tyler Morgan, the lefty on the team here, 36-year-old Tyler from currently residing in Burlington, Ontario.
Keep her down.
First end of play, you usually get a little bit of guessing on some of what the speed's going to be on some certain paths. I got 14.5 on that, and that is going to come, or 15.5, and that is going to come short as well.
Yeah, I think so. Try nose. Okay.
Mark KEAN not going to take any chances here now. That you've got a front building up that he's just going to get Brad Kidd to try to clean up the mess. Brad, the 32-year-old from Peterborough, Ontario. And he's just going to get the one peel.
Yeah, would have definitely liked to get rid of a couple there.
Well, it still gives Mark BICE the opportunity to try to get a rock established here. Tyler Morgan with his lefty in turn. This is going to be well short.
Wow.
Out in a totally different path than what anybody's been throwing, and that was a bit of a complete guess, and he guessed wrong.
Mark, just hit and roll off the yellow into the rings. Yeah, it's close. Yeah. I like it. Board. Be solid in this spot. This will be fresh. The runs, you get the back one.
So Mark's going to hit this yellow rock in the front here. Maybe even try to roll in.
Go solid. Yep. Whoa! Yeah! Yeah! Hard!
If he can spill this on it, it's a
Oh,
great
and he
shot.
does. Just spins on at the end. And again, that's a great kind of a veteran call, I think, Ian, that he just played nice weight on that and tried to save his shooter.
Well, you start getting some of these snivelers, as I like to call them, sort of building up around the edges of the sheet, and some guys like Mark here, for example, he just kind of ignores them, and eventually, you know, they may come back to haunt him.
Yes.
"25-year-old Aaron Squires from St. Thomas, Ontario. Looking to try to wind one in here. (14-6) out in this path. And he makes a perfect draw.
So Mark KEAN will do the run back here.
29-year-old Colin Dow. He's one you just don't want to run it on your own and take it out, which he looks like he's. Well, Mark BICE will be thankful for that, and Mark KEAN is going to be not happy with that shot because it's like I said, it's those little biters that seem to come into play. And that rock was in a good spot that even if they did end up putting up another center guard, he could always run that stone in.
Right.
Aaron Squires here going to try to replace the center guard.
Line's good. Yeah, that's not the right way to miss that. Line's good. Room leg. Oh, it doesn't need a curl. Doesn't need a curl. Oh!
Well done by Aaron Squires. Well, I wonder if Mark KEAN will try to get a little aggressive here or still play conservative. Yeah, he's not going to take any chances with Colin here. He's still going to run this back. And this is going to over-curl. Colin really didn't give those really good chances.
Just need more ice, right? Like I threw it good.
I just expect you to get them out there. Okay? I just expect you to get them out there.
Mark KEAN, the 29-year-old from Woodstock, born and raised in Innerkip.
Where you hit the first one, that was where we need to hit that one.
Born and raised where?
Innerkip,
Do you know where that is?
Ontario.
Is it? I have never heard of that place. I bet you it's a small town.
Line's good. Right. Oh, Steve's in.
So first rock here for Mark BICE.
Steve.
Just trying to replace that center guard.
Hard.
Wide, if anything.
Hard.
That would run.
Hard. Go, 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 go. Hard, hard, hard.
Probably a little long there, Ian. Might give KEAN a chance to get at the one on the forefoot.
Well, he's left it half exposed, and I'm sure for Mark KEAN here, it gives him a little opening here. Throw a back line to hack weight and sort of come around and chap it back and maybe get really good position. Interkip is just a little town just outside of Woodstock.
Is it?
There you go.
Okay, thank you. So just a little tap back wait here for Mark Keane.
Wow, this has got a lot of moving to do to even get a piece of it. For Mark BICE here, if he makes a nosed hit, it's going to force Mark Keane to either come down through the port on the intern side to draw for his single point, and or he's going to have to play the same hit, but we will have to roll to make sure he gets shot rock. And he would be, after that first stone kind of seemed to run down there, he'd be a little bit challenged to make that roll perfectly here in the first end.
Not one over curl here.
Wow, what a change of events that is now. Mark had the opportunity to lay 3.
Just having a look here to see if they can.
Well, it's a bit of a tease. You know, you could make the shot, and you might even be able to make it for 2 or 3.
Right.
But if you miss and you give up a steal of 2 in the first end, that is just a huge game changer.
I was just down and tight. But he was never even on the.
Mark Keane now, native of Woodstock, Ontario. Sorry, it's Mark Keane. It's from Interkip. My apologies.
Oh,
I
yeah?
said Mark BICE is from Sarnia.
Well, they're going on this.
Easy.
Well, he's a little wider line than I think what a lot of the earlier draws.
Yeah, go hard,
had.
guys. Go hard.
Look how
You got it.
Look at the sweep on these two guys.
That is crazy good.
Come on, you got it. Go, go, go.
Well,
Great
Mark
scrub.
BICE, your
Wow.
sweepers made that shot. Just
Thank you.
excellent sweeping
Ever. Man.
by Scott Brennan and Brad Kidd. Well done. That's 1 point here at the conclusion of the first end for Mark Keane. At the end of 1, he will lead. He will lead 1-0. A whole lot of ones.
Lucky. If we roll out, he's got an easy deuce.
I like the camaraderie out there.
Yeah.
You know, these guys just
Oh yeah, Mark's not gone there yet.
laughing it up with each other.
Oh, man.
Well, this is one of the things with
Wow, Joe just
it's kind of like the new breed on the PGA Tour. They're all kind of friends. They play out there on a week by week basis, so they run into each other. They entertain each other. I'm sure at night, having a few pops here and there.
Yeah.
Kind of like Don Cherrywood. Scott Brandon here,
Where? Mine's good.
being asked to throw a top 4 foot.
Ah, good chance.
Mine's fine. Wait only.
Oh, juiced it. That spot's quick. That spot's real quick. Sorry, Scotty. Sorry, bud.
Corner guard will be asked here.
Yeah, Mark BICE. Obviously, both these teams know what it takes to win, and they kind of know that. A rock that's behind he's not worried about that rock being just back of the button, so he can. He's going to throw up the corner guard with Steve BICE here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that slid. That's a lot better than we expected.
Steve BICE, I believe, was the 5th for Glenn Howard quite a few years ago there at Ian when Brett Lang had to leave the game to.
Hey, yeah, you're touching a nerve here with me.
Oh no, were you in that game?
Yes.
Were you?
He beat us in the final when I was playing with Wayne Madon, Peter Corner.
Really?
And Scott Bailey, yeah.
Okay.
Really got to go. Really got to go.
Well, it was quite the story, really. He had to come in and play Brett Lang, who had to go and see the birth of his child.
Correct.
Yeah, and of course, I hate to say it, but Glenn Howard did win that game, and so they took Steve as their 5th to the Briar for the next few years, I think.
I think it was, trying to remember, there was somewhere 2000 and, yeah, 2006 or 7, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Little bump. Back forward. Just fine. Little bump. All right, let's lock it on top.
Great shot by Steve BICE, winding one in there.
Oh. Yeah. I really like the interim, but. Yeah!
Brad Kidd.
I'll go a little, don't you think? Take a look. Line only. Line only. No, we're not. Back 8.
No. Never.
It's looking a little heavy here, but it's really starting to walk over there now.
Okay.
He makes a nice tap.
Yeah. I like tapping it.
Mark KEAN now laying 2.
Yeah, you can get inside now with that.
Tyler Morgan now going to try to play this same similar
slid
tap,
real
try to
good.
tap this on the nose, just try to get a pocket going at the back of the forefoot.
As long as we know it.
Back line.
Stay close. Give me dead here. Yep.
Wow.
I knew it.
I'm not sure why they stopped sweeping in there, Larry, halfway down.
You can't guard.
Yeah, you know, it
That's
looked
the
like it had
freshest power.
lots of room, and then just misjudged there, I think.
God. So stupid.
So Mark
Like,
Keane's
you know
going to
you're
throw up
for
a
sure
guard
getting
here.
over that, like, all day.
Well, he's in really good shape right now, and actually
Really soft.
Tight.
Mark BICE is going to have to probably throw some heat in here and try to clean up some mess, just so he's got hopefully eventually has a shot at those two KEAN stones in the center.
Off. That's really soft.
Yeah, he pinched that pretty hard. Okay.
I'd almost rather do the
That'll
same
leave
thing.
Tyler with a double peel here.
Need some rotation.
Yeah. Oh, and we're not going to be able to after this.
Worked out okay.
Did work out okay.
I was just worried it would be like no cycle.
Tyler Morgan throwing the
Really
double peel
hard.
here.
Really hard.
All right, guard it up again.
He ends up clipping one of his own, which
So speed good?
he ended up clipping the wrong one,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Okay.
Because that other
Yeah, okay.
BICE Yellowstone at the back of the forefoot there is going to
I almost prefer
haunt,
this turn. I know
haunt Mark
better.
as well, because it just means he has to slash it. To get it out, he's got to slash it across the face, and he would lose his shooter as well.
Easy.
Colin Dow throwing the out-turn guard now. Interesting how all of a sudden they've switched turns.
That's not.
It's a little heavy there.
That's pretty quick.
Come right into the rings.
Wow, that's interesting because it's going to give Mark BICE an angle that he didn't have before to eliminate 2 of those stones and possibly roll his shooter behind the corner guard.
Yep.
No, I think you did.
I might roll out, oh?
Yeah.
No, I roll around. Oh.
I know, long shot.
Not sure why he's concerned about rolling out.
Easy.
If he makes the shot,
that
no
jams.
way.
For the year.
Yeah, no.
I can tell you're sweaty.
Double. That jams all day. Yeah, I like.
That's the week's going on.
Yeah, that's good.
Are
Aaron Squires going to throw normal way to in-turn hit here.
Whoa!
Really got this going, I think. Be
Yeah.
jamming. Oh dear. Yeah. Not.
I don't mind going right in onto the yellow.
Throw it tight.
So
Yeah,
I don't know
tighter,
what
corner
your
frozen
thought
on that
process
yellow.
is when you're looking at a shot like that. I know if I'm in
Oh,
the
I know.
hack
Is
and
that
looking at the
tight?
shot, and
Is
so
that down?
you know you gotta throw the weight
Yeah.
and you've got to hit the broom.
Right.
Like to me, Graham
McCarroll
McCarroll always said to me, he says, just hit the broom and make the shot. Like just
Yeah.
do what the skip asks for.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, but the pro side miss on that is actually probably, being a little bit, a tiny bit firm, knowing that if you hit it high side, you're going to make contact, and you're probably going to get two. If you hit it too thick, you probably get maybe 3 rocks moving.
Right.
And now you just rearrange the furniture a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
But by doing what he did there, by over curling, now he kind of nullified any opportunity he had. Now they're in real trouble.
Yeah. Now they're just in the bail mode here.
So, like, to me, the tight blue stone is the control rock.
Okay.
And the fact
Need more
that,
ice.
to me, this is a gamble here, because now it's almost like you're playing your trump card
Yeah.
with 2 more rocks to come.
Right. This doesn't work out. He's in huge trouble.
Well, you kind of save your trump card for late in an end when
Right.
you really, really need it.
Right.
Because if you miss this, like if you make it, fantastic. But
Yeah.
if you miss it, you're in trouble.
Right.
It's probably going to stick it over the top.
So he ends up making sort of a half shot, but he's still in trouble.
Right now is
Try to get one
with the end.
Just throw a high guard.
The only way in there
Eh?
is probably through the port and off the yellow.
I'm saying he might try that. That's all he has right now.
He's got to try and come here and just go like that.
He can come through the port
But he's
off
never
that
gonna
and probably spin in.
We throw a high guard just a hair over
I
this way.
think so. Because we'll always
That
have
was
that.
Mark Keane.
Even if he tries to get in
I would
here,
probably
maybe.
come down and even corner freeze on that.
I like playing this turn though.
Do you think he can
Eh?
get around?
This turn.
Yeah.
You want to come that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure that
I was edge of
I'm
8
not
for
sure
you,
that
so we
the
need like
there's
middle?
a port there between
Right.
the yellow guard and the blue rock. There might be
Just
if
a
you
rock
threw a
off
tiny
center
bit
should
of
be
a
fine.
spinner, but
just a high guard. Just a high guard draw.
You don't like the draws there, the back line.
this is where you kind of
Yeah,
need
but that's the only shot he has right
what
now.
I call the Eddie guard. You just kind of come down and chisel that center one over
And then fall him down.
about 6 inches and kind of flop for double
What else
guards.
you do? You can't guard both. I don't mind him trying through the hole because he's going to roll
Would love
off.
to see Eddie Werdick show up at one of these events.
Oh, I think he's in Arizona.
Is he in Arizona?
Playing
Oh.
golf.
Oh, darn.
Easy. Whoa. Brad, gotta go. Yep,
Just
hard.
running.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa! Yes!
Good looking shot coming here from Mark KEAN.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Oops, sorry, guys.
Let's make it double. Got nothing else. Yeah.
Is that or you?
No. It's crazy.
Just going to throw the double peel here.
Yeah, you can.
Well, if you were, to me, like, you know, if you're going to walk up here in the second end and try to make an angle run on your first stone, like you're
Yeah, but that's a
you're
prayer.
destined to get burned here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then at least you gotta run. What do we have right now? There's no other shot. Unless you play that 2 into here. Like your peel, you're rolling enough, I think. Are you not hitting it here?
Well, listening to these
Yeah.
guys,
Well, I think
Mary, I don't think
Everything's
the
done.
decision
Don't
isn't
make
that complex here. I think you're just trying to make the double peel and roll
Right.
away if you can.
Yeah.
it's probably just as hard, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what else they're actually thinking here.
The only other thing I see is the intern through the hole.
I think you play this and you hope that you're going to have a shot on your next one.
Well, if he tries to get cute here, like he's going
You
to
just
give
can't,
up.
you can't touch 2.
He's going to end up giving
If
up a
you hit
steal of
4, it's not.
2 or 3 here.
Yeah.
See, what's interesting, Mary, that I find is that these guys have spoken for probably a minute and a half to 2 minutes, and the time clocks are almost even now, and I don't think Mark's team took any unusual time the first 2
Yeah.
ends.
Good
Kind of
point.
wait, like back line.
We're talking Mark KEAN's team.
Right. Yeah. So the decision is to just double peel these center line guards, which is the right decision here, I think.
If you can move the back blue, you might be able to draw in, right? But we still have another shot.
I think he's.
Oh, he's not.
I think he's trying to go through the hole here.
He is.
Yep. Whoa.
If he ticks the right guard,
Yes.
it could be really ugly because it's going to leave an open hit. Look at this
By.
shot.
He's by.
Look at this shot. Oh my God! And he goes too
no.
far.
And see now, that
Oh.
was a risk.
He's got off that.
Wow! What a shot by Mark BICE.
I mean, he makes it through the hole, but just
He just sort of glances all the way off and then spins all the way out.
I'm just saying, draw here. I know you guys say it's not there.
I really don't want to throw that draw.
What's the risk to it?
You tick that, you might leave him a tap.
I
No
think
double,
for
there's
Mark
no double.
Mark
You pick
KEAN
that
here
foul,
now,
no
I
double.
think
Once he gets his
the
one.
shot is probably guarding
guarded
the
up. We guarded
the
up.
hole,
We
so there is no
guarded
shot
up.
off the yellow end, or hit the yellow and try to roll a spin in yourself. Because the only other shot that Mark BICE is going to have is going to be to run the blue corner guard in, and hopefully spin a bunch of rocks out.
On the corner of that logo, right?
Yeah, because if we get it there, then he doesn't have the run.
yeah, that was
Same weight might be
Risky
close to
call.
here, eh? Do we like a little less ice? Really?
Well, and you'll probably see Mark BICE possibly walk up and try to throw the angle raise he talked about earlier in the end. On his first shot, he talked about running the his yellow
His
corner
yellow.
guard in.
wow.
I don't know if he's just got enough room to get it by.
Three's good.
Yeah, looks like
Three's good.
tons.
Three's good. Gonna be slower here, guys.
Looks like tons, guys.
Gonna be a hair slower here.
Line good. Line's good. Hard. Right over. Right over. Right here. Hard, 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 hard. Hard.
Come on.
Hard.
Mark
Further,
KEAN
further,
just
further.
trying
Go,
to
go, go,
block
go, go,
off
go.
this hole.
think this. I think Mark KEAN's front end must make a lot of shots for him because that's one of the best sweeping front ends I think I've ever seen.
Oh, I agree.
Knew it was going to be slower, though.
Their brush stroke is really high. Looks like they've got good pressure on the broom.
They don't need it.
Well, Mark BICE has left himself here a toughie.
Really close. Like it's got a better.
Pretty precise shot here.
Well, if Mark KEAN had gone another foot further, I don't think this shot was even there.
Yeah.
And so he feels like he's got nothing to lose by running this in and hopefully at least taking one stone with it. He's got a couple ways he can make it. He can actually make it absolutely perfect running it into the left stone that's there. But if he hits it too square, he can might even be able to make it off his own.
Never.
And he popped this one out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be a steal of 2 points for Mark KEAN's team, and after 2 ends of play, KEAN will lead by a score of 3-0.
And on our other sheets, we have Epping against Friends, and they are tied at 1 point apiece here.
That's after 2 ends of play.
Yeah, and we have Bolton up 4-0 on Retchless, playing the fourth, I believe, Ian.
Playing the third end.
Third end, and we have no score here with Moss versus
McLean.
McLean.
Should have never got off his first either. Like he held well like that. I'm getting it all day.
You know, I think the BICE team, actually, if they were to replay that to end again, you know,
No, I don't know if
I
he was
think
trying to
when
hit it thick.
Mark tried to go around
We're forever
or
hitting
tried
it.
to raise his own back,
when
like
he
to me,
says
that's
roll like that,
you're playing your trump card
Right.
I didn't
really
say roll.
early in the end.
Like here.
Yeah.
Like I knew you couldn't hit it too thin.
What's the great thing about curling? We have lots of discussions after games about what if.
What if?
What
Yes. Yeah, I know.
Oh, there.
Usually, back in the old days, it used to be a table full of beer bottles, and you set them up like the end, and
Yeah.
how the rocks were. And
Yeah. Said it can be a cruel game, but we keep coming back. So that corner guard is a little tight,
Able to hit on the nose.
but usable.
it's got Brandon being asked to maybe play a little tap up on his stone in the top 8 foot.
Oh. Colin. It's not curling. You just got it out there. Okay, whoa.
Seems to be hanging out a little bit.
Need a pocket. That?
It's got to be top 8.
Steve BICE could try to throw the out turn, come around his own corner guard here. Try to get an offense going.
T plus.
Could have actually put another guard up, Ian, even on the same side or on the other.
Well, I think that's the fact that his corner guard was so tight. If he puts up a corner guard that's high, he might leave Mark KEAN a double peel.
Right, he'd have to place them just.
Mark KEAN not going to take any chances here. He's just going to get Brad Kidd to try to peel this corner guard off, possibly even make a run through.
Whoa. Just keeps floating. It's good.
And he does just that.
Expected it to come up a little bit. Thought it'd come up a little bit.
Pretty good down there now.
Tyler Morgan just being asked to replace that corner guard.
Room leg.
Perfectly done by Tyler. Well, Mark KEAN is just going to be patient here. He's going to wait till Mark BICE kind of makes a move, and then it may set up some sort of double.
Oh.
He knows that Mark has to make a play on at least one of his stones in the rings
Good.
there.
Shot.
Brad Kidd making that peel.
Keep ripping because he's going to have to make a play on that. You can't throw the double on it. Pretty straight. He kind of straightened it, but it's pretty straight. It'll come up a little bit.
We didn't get to it last time. Still wide open on the outside. Yeah. Yeah.
No. Off. Off!
Colin Dow's turn here to make the peel. And, oh God. Wow. I don't know if that's better or worse.
Yeah.
I think it's better now for Mark BICE because now he can probably, he's going to throw the guard again. I might even be tempted to throw one on the other side of the sheet, and because then Mark KEAN has got to make a play on one of them. And at that point, then you can. I think he could have even hit this stone in the top 8 foot and rolled way over to the far side of the sheet.
You don't think it's too early? I think that's what he's
No,
thinking.
All right. Oh, you're okay.
I guess we're just into third stones here.
Yep.
Well, this is Colin Dow would have had one shot at the double, and then Mark KEAN. I think Mark will get Colin Dow now to try to run this straight through and hopefully pick off the rock in the back of the floor.
Yeah.
Or sorry, back of the in the 8 foot here.
Hard!
Really close.
Mm.
Oh.
Oh, and he
But look at the lucky break he gets.
Yes. Oh, jeez. Rolls right in front of his own shot rock.
Good throws.
I got
Just a slipper tight, yeah.
just dead buried.
No, I know.
That is a huge break for
Dead buried.
for Mark KEAN's team. You know, he tries to
got
make
like
the
an
run
8.
back. He misses the run back. He
Okay.
missed the shot, but then he gets a bonus out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, I just thought you'd probably still roll to give him the double, though.
This rock is perfectly buried here. Maybe just a quarter peeking out.
See, I'm not sure he can go at this with any
I
type of
know.
weight.
I know. It'll run here, I think.
See, I would be more tempted to try to even draw around this thing on the out turn side.
Yeah.
Trying to carve this thing in there.
I don't think
They
so.
just
though.
can't roll out.
That's right. Well, he moves it.
Well, he got a pretty good result, but now he's left a relatively easy double takeout from Mark KEAN. But I don't think Mark's going to take any.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Any chances here, he's just going to try to rip them out.
Yeah, no, I'll just make the double. Peak would be close.
Oh, he misses it.
Wow. That's a pretty big miscue from Mark KEAN, because now this gives Mark BICE the opportunity to hit the KEAN shot stone on the top forefoot, hang around, and hopefully finish the end with 2 points.
Right.
I feel like you can get out of it anyway.
So just throwing a nice tap back weight here.
Murray, this is kind of in the spot here, though, that it runs a tiny little bit. We've watched this sheet sort of the last 2 days. He looks a little tighter than his intended to.
Yeah.
And this is gone. He's going to be all over the guard here.
Yep. Really hard. Hard, not jam. Hard, roll.
Get out of the way.
Normal there.
He looked like he had a really slow
that'd be
handle
great.
to me.
He did,
Like
yeah.
if we showed a replay on that,
You want to throw
you'd
that?
probably see
heel
when he
again and
released
try
it,
and
the
flat roll
handle
in
was
here?
really, really
Right
slow,
on
and
Yeah.
it
Heel.
Yeah, you know, he's almost like he was
roll it
afraid
under.
to throw that.
And he can't nose it.
Afraid that it was going to run.
The same way I just threw.
Just softed it.
So Mark KEAN not going to take any chances again, and he's just going to try to eliminate the BICE stone. And hopefully, actually, if he hangs around, he can force him to 1 point. But looks like he's going to roll out here and give Mark BICE the opportunity to blank the end.
Yeah, I'll see. I think that was obviously a little mistake on Mark KEAN's part there. Needed to stick.
Well, you know, he just threw it the first time. He knows how he released it.
Right.
And now he's got the exact same shot. You kind of know what the ice is going to be. I just think he's overthrowing those shots.
I think so, yeah.
Lean. Yep. Lean. Yep.
Oh, he's going to hang around here.
Routine force.
Mark BICE will pick up a single point here in the third end and trail Mark KEAN by the score of 3 points to 1 at the completion of 3 ends of play. Action from 3 other sheets going on here at the Summit Center in Huntsville, Ontario. The other key game that we're keeping our eye on is John Epping up against Joe Franz. And John Epping here in the third end will have an open draw for 2 points to take a 3-1 lead on Joe Franz. The 2 other Seaside games going on. We have Greg Balsden up 4-0 on Rob Retchless. And Mike McLean has jumped out to a 1-0 lead after 3 ends of play over Cody Moss.
And it's just in that spot, it's just so sensitive to anything out. Yeah, those wings are brutal.
Yeah, they're so straight.
So what's the psyche now for the BICE team?
Well, they got some work to do here. Gonna put up a couple of center guards. I guess they kind of really have to go for it here, Ian. Not get too crazy, but either force or steal.
Bite top 4, bite top 8.
Well, Steve BICE puts up the perfect center guard, and Mark KEAN's going to get Scott Brandon here to throw an out-turn draw around.
I think we're pretty good, aren't we? Just keep it moving.
Calling in. Calling in. Collins in. I don't think you need to though.
Still there.
14-5. Okay.
All right.
Scott does just that. He gets it to the top of the button, but it's just wide open.
Hey, Scotty.
Mark BICE is going to ignore it and try to get a second center stone in play, Mary.
Yeah. I think he kind of has to, Ian?
Well, you're down 2 without. I know it's still early in the game. We're only at the 4th end of play here, but they got to get something going here.
All right. Top 8, bud.
Yeah, and that's just setting up a double peel eventually. Kind of needed those 2 guards, one long, one short,
Where?
right on the center line.
Where?
Pretty close. Top 4.
Scott Brandon's going to have an opportunity to get the second stone in here
No.
inside the BICE center stone.
Just clean it. Just clean it.
Do it. Do it.
Okay, call and go. Oh. Good.
That's fine.
Little
boy.
deep.
Mind you, those 2 stones might be a little close together, and it's going to give Tyler Morgan the opportunity to play a little quiet tap back here. Hopefully stay frozen.
Just rip the center. Hit. Oh, now we have to hit. A little solid. Yeah.
Great shot there by
Board.
Tyler Morgan.
You got it, man.
It's going to give Mark KEAN, though, the opportunity to hit and roll inside here with Brad Kidd,
Good boy.
native of
Oh!
Peterborough, Ontario.
Whoa!
Solid.
Whoa!
Solid.
Yep! Whoa! 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 Colin! No. Okay, it's fine.
Well executed, didn't quite get the roll. Going to give Tyler Morgan the opportunity to try to flop back in there himself. Tyler Morgan's a big, solid dude, isn't he?
And he's pretty good looking, too.
Oh, is he?
Oh, yeah, he is. I think all the girls like Tyler. Nice shot.
He can be an eye candy for the ladies. I know he's very happily married and he's got kids down in Burlington.
Yeah.
Feel the guard.
I don't mind the peel.
We can't figure out why he hasn't made the curling calendar yet, Ian.
Maybe his wife won't let him. Obviously, Tyler's mother being Wendy Morgan,
Yes.
the coach for the Jennifer Jones team.
You're in the yellow?
We don't need to be Chris.
Just touch that.
So interesting how Mark KEAN is shot stone here,
Yeah.
and Mark BICE has a stone in the rings. but he's not going to take any chances trying to remove the KEAN stone yet. He's still going to try to establish some sort of form of a center stone. You know, for Mark KEAN here, you know, he's going to try to find a way to get 2 points here if he can.
Right. This one came in a little deep.
Well, it depends on how much separation there are from those two stones.
Yeah.
If we had an overhead shot, we could probably get a better idea of the spacing between those two stones.
Just wants to hit this and
Colin
roll
Dow.
over. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the call. Wants to stick around here, though.
Good shot.
I think that's a great shot.
That is a great shot just because he hung around for that extra,
Yeah.
hopefully the extra point at the end of the end.
Yeah.
Well, he ticked the, did tick his own stone a little further back on the forefoot, and it's going to give Mark BICE the opportunity to try to come down and maybe tap it a few inches, but as long as he maintains angle
Right.
and or freezes to it.
Even inside the draw to the button. Mine's good. Got a curl. Looks there. Mine's good. Got a curl.
Aaron Squires trying to get it in there. It's not coming across the line, though.
Just didn't curl that much.
Colin Dow's going to have the opportunity here to try to hit and flop across the face and have two stones partially buried behind the long BICE guard. Wow, this one's really going. It's taken off. Well, what did we mention earlier in the game about rocks hanging around out in the 12-foot?
Oh, I know. BICE has to be careful here.
Well, because he has to be careful, because if he ever sort of chaps off just a little bit, it's going to give Mark KEAN the opportunity to make the double and lay four.
Yeah. He's just trying to freeze here, is he, Ian? Just freeze on top of
Correct,
that.
yeah. Now, I don't know if Aaron Squires sort of popped his first one, but there his second stone back a bit, and that's why it didn't get all the way over there. His weight was perfect. Mark BICE 407 for backline to hog. I think they might have to go on this one. Stevie BICE and Tyler Morgan working hard on this.
Take a look. Looks here. Yep. Okay, it's fine.
Well, that works because there's no double here.
Well, I look at that, and if he noses that stone, I'm not sure what Steve BICE does, because he can't play the double back.
Right.
Okay. I don't think you really want to roll inside, but if he nosed it, he would have Stevie or Mark BICE in a lot of trouble. 29-year-old Mark KEAN from Woodstock, Ontario.
Oh dear.
And this is trying to work. Trying to work.
He's going to get rid of the...
Wow.
Sad, are you?
It wasn't that bad. It was a little heavy. That was all. Just touchy spot.
Or over Barry.
That really came up.
That's fine too. Over Barry.
Just heavy. Shoot.
T-line. Line's good. Line's good. Okay.
Just tap it. Yeah. This is a heavy
Safe,
draw.
safe.
Like back 8, back 12. It's pretty straight here. Yeah, so I think back 12 is perfect. Yeah, like back 12. You gotta move it like a foot. We've seen all the draws here and it runs real good. Yeah, exactly. Kind of speed? Like T-lines 4? Okay. 90. 8. You can probably get away with it.
So a shot for 2 here for Mark KEAN. Just throwing a nice back line to hack weight here.
Easy! Whoa, Scott, easy! Whoa!
And he
Great
makes
shot.
it. Yep.
Great shot by Mark KEAN to pick up 2 points here at the conclusion of 4 ends of play. We're going to have a replay on this too. They followed this in nicely. They just finished it up with the brooms at the end. Remove the BICE stone and hang around for that second point. And that he will jump out to a 5-1 lead. Mark KEAN's team will jump to a 5-1 lead after 4 ends of play. And the BICE team has to find something here.
They do, yeah. Well, they got the hammer back here, so we'll see what they can do. This one's not what they wanted.
All right, Scott.
That's a big mistake, Ian.
Well, throwing a corner guard, you know, as a skip, you would rather see that rock in the hack.
Exactly.
Scott Brennan will not be happy with that result.
So Steve BICE being asked here to come, either come around this or maybe come around tight, put another guard up.
Weight's good. No, we're barely over.
Well, you almost want to freeze to it.
Yeah.
Because one thing he can't do is he can't remove your rock from play.
Right.
He can remove his own from the free guard zone.
Which is probably what he would have gone up and done, right, Ian?
Correct.
Okay, I like that.
So this way, Mark BICE gets 2 guards out of the situation.
Back 8.
No.
Back 8.
Don't
Back
touch
4.
it.
Back 4.
No, never touch it. Never touch it.
D. Oi. Okay. Yes, got it. No, it's not, eh? Yeah. All right, well, let's go for our lives here.
Well, Mark goes on the advantage, or on the offense here with Scott Brandon, and he ends up going behind the tee line, which there's another stone he'd rather see in the hack.
Well, exactly. And it is risky when you're coming around the corners without hammer.
Well, this is playing into Mark BICE's hands. You know, he
is.
gets this one locked on, and Mark KEAN is going to find that he's playing a game that he does not want to play.
All right.
Like, so much so that he's going to walk up here and try to make a double peel and clean this up. And he's basically saying, okay, you know what? I'll take giving up 2 here, but 3 or more is I just want to take it out of the picture.
Right. Very nice shot.
Great shot by Brad Kidd.
Great shot, Kidder.
Well, the interesting part about this, Mary, is I think that the BICE team now can just keep throwing a guard on this, and then even maybe when you get into Mark BICE's first stone, you know, then you freeze again on the nose.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden 3 might come into play.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're getting through. Barely over. Great toss, Kidder.
Well, I think Mark KEAN just sees a little opening here, and he knows that these stones in the rings are trouble, so he's just going to try to slash them out.
Easy. Half rock.
Brad Kidd here. Wow. Mary, a 3-ender is definitely in the picture here now. This might be just what the BICE team ordered. They got a couple of breaks this end. Actually, they got 2 from Scott Brandon, and then 1 just now from Jason Kidd. So.
Can't give him the double, though. Higher, higher, higher.
Well, this is still a little bit of the lure. Because what is Mark KEAN going to do? He's going to run up here and peel this guard and hopefully peel off one of the BICE stones in the back rings here. He's going to hope he takes one of them with it.
Really nice shot.
Yeah.
And that doesn't leave Mark BICE with a whole lot here now.
Well, Colin Dow cleaning up his front end's mess.
Oh, normal weight, though.
It's funny, they keep taking a lot of ice here. I don't think I've seen a guard over curl here.
Right. In fact, they're under curling a bit.
Well done by Aaron Squires. Gets it into a real nice position. Well, this is where at this point do you split the rings, Mary, and try to get them as far apart as you can, and hopefully Mark KEAN does not have any angles to make any high hard doubles, or do you keep throwing the guard?
He's gonna go for the guard here again. I don't mind this. Maybe split the rings on Mark BICE's first. As we do know Mark KEAN will be peeling.
Well, the fact that the rock is in the back of the 8-foot here, you just wondered if Mark KEAN might come down and freeze do it.
You think so?
If he feels confident enough with draw weight, he'd come down and freeze do it. Well, they're discussing it here now. Mary, what would you do? You're 4 up.
Well, I'm peeling the guard, Ian. That's what I'm doing.
I like calling it and trying to run.
Yeah.
You know, the likelihood of sticking it.
There's no way to leave a guard.
Is very minute.
I mean, you can leave a guard.
Going jam, jam.
Yeah.
It is possible.
It is, and leaving the guard out there.
Mark KEAN real close to the run back here. Oh.
Sorry, Mark.
So close.
So
That's
close.
like a millimeter away.
And so he did leave the guard out here, and
Well, at least that stone is wide open here.
Yeah.
You know, at this point, I'm sure Mark KEAN is kind of resigned to the fact that he's giving up 2 points here. He's just not going to let him get more than 2 points. Mark BICE, he still has to make his shot here, though, because he doesn't want to leave this in a position where it gives Mark KEAN the opportunity to make a double takeout.
It's a little straight, and you get just outside the 8-foot. So he's just drifting into it. Yeah. He's already got the drift, and then it's in the straight spot.
Yep.
Mine's good.
A little later on this one, I got 4:15 as his back line to hog.
Ty, if you can. If you can, Ty.
But they don't seem to be pressured to make it.
no.
Oh, let it die. Let it die. Yep.
Well, I think, Mary, that's in a good enough position that that there is no double takeout, but Mark KEAN will have an opportunity to roll to a very small spot and possibly be buried.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Bedford is probably when it was coming in, though, I didn't know if they would get it.
I think that's a lot of weight to try to make the roll. I think Mark Keane is just overthrowing those just a tiny bit for.
Oh, how good is that?
I don't really know what that spot did.
I'm thinking not very good because there's a lot of disappointing faces there. The technical thing. Good boy. I didn't know it was last round.
Mark BICE going to try and execute a out-turn board weight hit here and stick around for his 2 points here in the 5th end of play.
So I had the drift plus the straight spot.
Clean,
So
clean.
That wasn't that bad that I got.
Well done. So that's 2 points there for Mark BICE. After 5 ends of play, he will trail by a score of 5-3. So we're just going to take a little 5-minute break here, fans. So refresh your coffee cups, and we'll be right back with some more action for you. The Mark BICE team trailing Mark KEAN's team by the score of 5-3 after 5 ends of play. As we start the 6th end, Mark KEAN's going to have to hold off this Mark BICE team. I'm sure they're going to keep throwing double centers here and really trying to force the play because they're going to have to steal their way back into this game.
T at least. T right now.
3 other games going on here this morning.
Back 4, back 8.
The other big A-side or B-side game here is John Epping up against Joe Franz, and John Epping just scored a big 3-point end in the 5th end to take a 6-3 lead over Joe Franz. Greg Baltzan has jumped up to a 7-1 lead over Rob Retchless. Seaside game, and the other Seaside game has Cody Moss up over Mike McLean by a score of 3-1. Mary Scott Brandon here has thrown another stone back deep in the rings, kind of where Mark KEAN doesn't want it. Maybe he's showing a little bit of his youth here.
Yeah.
That's a juicy double. Yep. Great. Top 8. At least, yeah. We're still pretty close. Top 4. Top 4.
Mark BICE getting his 2 center guards from Steve BICE.
Come on, boys, gotta go.
I guess there would be nothing worse than the wrath of your brother if you're not playing well.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure that probably goes both ways.
Yeah, yeah. Well, your brothers, well, one for sure curled.
Correct, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Did you guys ever play together?
I think we played a Bonspiel once together. which we qualified, which was kind of the goal.
Yeah.
Especially he skipped and I played third. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wind's good.
Oh, he's happy being a hunter and fisher now.
Really?
Being retired up just outside of Dryden.
I like it on that side. I like it on that side.
He's way up there.
Trying to go across space. You're not like into the top.
Dryden, Ontario.
Because the triple might have been there if you warped her.
Nice shot by Tyler Morgan to warp one in there. Now Mark KEAN's not going to take any chances with Brad Kidd. He's just going to try to rip the double center here. Actually, if he hits it the right way, he might get a few stones moving. Really close. Oh, just missing.
No. Maybe actually.
Tyler Morgan, the Burlington native here, being asked by Mr. BICE to
Halfway.
get a halfway center guard going.
Don't want it.
Kind of put it back in the same spot here.
Yeah, I like that.
Makes this not very good.
Now they're just changing up the angles on how they're going to run this back. Brad's going to now throw the out-turn heater down here, try to get rid of the yellow center guard and take his own blue in the top 12 with it as well, because it's kind of acting like a guard as well. Just looking for... Oh, just missing.
Yeah.
Trying to guard the blue.
real close, man. Real close. Yeah, I know, eh? Can we just try a straight run? Like, just run it? Alright.
I honestly don't mind this.
Yeah.
Whichever one.
He's got to go yellow, yellow.
Thinking Mark BICE would like that center guard a little bit higher, but it's still in play. Still going to give
Hard to throw that line enough.
Colin Dow the opportunity here to make a double peel, and if he hits this the right way, he could get some action and may pick off the other stone, but just, you know, just missing these things.
Yeah, that's 3 in a row.
I think we can take more ice, though. Like, we're never not curling enough.
Aaron Squires is trying to place this guard again.
Like, our blues hurt us more than help us right now. Especially if this is high.
Line's good. Line's good.
You almost want to be corner frozen to your
Yep.
own Yellowstone here, don't you? Then you kind of take away everything. That's a little better, a little higher.
Sure. Just play it tight.
Yeah.
So we get something moving.
Awful about the curling.
Mark KEAN not going to take any chances here, which to me is smart play.
Yeah, he's up 2 points and has hammer here, so he's
Really gotta go.
Well, he may get lucky here or not. Wow. That is probably the worst outcome he could have asked for.
Yeah, well, I think that pretty good too.
They went hard. They went pretty hard.
Well, this is going to give Mark BICE the opportunity to wind a second stone back under cover. And being that they are trailing by 2, this is the exact situation that you kind of hope for. Really great shot there by Mark BICE. Well swept by both Tyler and Stevie BICE. You know, it's the way it's set up right now. I'm going to show this replay in here, just the way they wound that thing in, and you know, it's even though the yellow guard is really tight, they can try to run this through and hopefully get 2 of them going and make the guard disappear. See, I don't think he can. If he's going to try to make this thing go straight back and actually pick those 2 rocks off, he's asking for trouble. Because if he misses it across the face, Stevie BICE or Mark BICE will wind a 3rd stone in there, and all he's going to be able to do is pick off one of them.
Whoa! No. No.
Yeah, he's poking these things wide. His release is not very good here.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, scattered.
Well, Mary, where would you place this?
All right, bud. This is a guarantee steal.
I agree. I think if they get it inside there, get the Christmas tree in there, you're guaranteed stealing one. Now, here's a great opportunity to steal two, in my mind. I'm not sure that Mark KEAN is going to want to try to throw the out-turn draw to the button for his point, but it might be the only shot available to him.
Line's good. Line's good. Time, good. Where? Time. Oh, where? Yep. Whoa. Yep. Hard. Whoa. Good.
Well, that's a nice guard by Mark BICE. I think, in my opinion, I would have got a little bit more aggressive. Great opportunity. And now this is going to give Mark KEAN the opportunity just to run this straight back, and he might be able to make the double and roll the shooter off as well and actually get a point.
Just really over good. If you just let go straight, I think it's perfect. You slid right on it. Yeah. Okay.
Colin just try to give him a little bit of confidence and just let him go, make sure that he focuses on the release.
There's a guaranteed steal to go in.
I think at this point, KEAN would be okay with giving up 1 point here.
Oh yeah, he definitely. At this point, you're looking to cut your losses.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Really close. What a shot by Mark KEAN.
Oh, wow.
To score a point. That is a game changer right there.
Beautiful shot by Mark.
We'll see that all over again. I think that right there, see, they well swept, well judged.
I told you to make the in when you had to. Go right on top.
I think Colin Dow, he should be complimented for coaching Mark there, just letting him know that, look, your slide lines were perfect.
Right.
Just focus on making a clean release. He did just that, and Mark KEAN will pick up 1 point there, and we'll have a 6-3 lead after 6 ends of play.
So you're righty, and perhaps on Mark BICE's last one, putting a third rock in the house. Frozen on those would have avoided that.
It didn't have to be frozen. You just, sometimes you want a little bit of separation, right?
Okay, we're okay. We didn't get out into the pressure stuff. Come on, guys. Sorry, Scotty. Go. Sorry, bud.
So that first lead rock for the Mark KEAN team coming in too deep. We'll see the corner guard going up here.
Seven seems to skate. Yeah,
I said 3.
the 7 must skate. I thought you were in, but I didn't think you were like back 8. I thought you were like top 12, top 8. Throw same with that one. I think we can go. A little more line. Looks hot. Looks hot. Oh, here it comes. Still okay. Still okay. That's perfect. Shot, Scott. Yep. That one has to be quick. I don't think those are. Hey? I don't know. That one's really skates. Well, that was a little bit less, but.
Steve BICE going to throw the higher corner guard here.
Oh, there. Do it.
And want it to it.
Halfway.
Well, shots like that can definitely take the wind out of your sails from the other team. You know, they had almost a guaranteed steal. I think he just needed to get a little bit aggressive on his last stone. Mark BICE, that is.
Yeah.
Get it into the rings, be laying 3, and at that point, you know, I don't think that Mark KEAN would have. I don't think he would have drawn, but if he did, you would have had a really, you know, a huge shot.
Yeah. I'm pretty impressed with this Mark KEAN team. I would fully expect to see these guys in the playoffs. Of course, Mark KEAN has played in the Brier as a skip.
Yeah, maybe Mark KEAN is the great training ground for some of these players. Obviously,
Yeah.
he had Matt Kim and Scott Mathers
Scott Howard and
Scott Howard and
David
Mathers playing for him, who've gone on to greatness, playing with Glenn Howard now, and then Matt Kim obviously playing with John Epping. Actually, the other thing I like about these two teams is actually they both play quickly. They don't seem to waste any time. Like I think this game is further ahead than any other of the games out here.
I don't mind the tap.
Looks like we do have a final score out there. Greg Baldson's game, is that over at 7-1? Obviously, Greg beating Rob Retchless.
So that will eliminate Rob Retchless from the competition.
Gotta go wait. Or just rip that. Either or, it doesn't matter.
No. But they can't make that and get 2.
All right, peel the corner. Yeah, no, you try from roll. This is just run straight here. Here, okay.
Come up a little bit.
Mark BICE just looking to get anything going here to try to get a deuce to get back into this game.
Whoa! No!
Colin Dow being asked to rip the corner and maybe even get the rock in the rings as well. Oh, and he kind of blew the sweeping on that. It's kind of like what we said the other day, Mary, is that it's curling to the wings pretty hard here.
It is, yeah.
Not bad. Then he gets them all, doesn't he? Hit. I got 6.
Juicy. So close.
No,
Yeah.
but it's still good, I think.
Not even out
It's
of my
not
hand. You just had to
lightning,
call it just a little earlier than it did. That's true. Yeah, getting rid of the back one.
So Aaron Squires here just going to freeze to the back. Blue rock, KEAN rock, back at the 12-foot.
Well, he's kind of got
Line's fine.
2 points kind of almost locked in here right now. And it's whether he can actually get another half shot out of the KEAN team, and he might be able to get a 3.
Nose.
Okay, yeah. Nose and if we're a bit low, that's fine.
It's almost a good thing it didn't curl more.
Can I get a little tighter ice? Thanks. Nope. 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 No. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa.
Good. Shot, Colin.
Real nice shot by Colin Dow to hang around. It's still lay 2 here in this 7th end of play. Mark BICE up against Mark KEAN.
Don't set that. No. Don't throw that one wide.
Gonna throw the freeze here again. Should know the line and the weight just through this shot.
I'm a little surprised that actually he doesn't play the tap freeze. If he plays the tap freeze, it brings 3 into play, because if he doesn't, because I don't think he'll be able to jam both stones out of play. And if he ever jammed it, period, then the 3 would definitely be on.
Should do minimum because it usually looks pretty good.
Take a look. Nice shot.
Real nice freeze by Aaron Squires.
Get him a ticket.
Or just blast it out, I guess. Yeah.
We lose
2 other games going on here this morning that we're keeping our eye on. The Epping-Franz B-side semifinal game that the winner of our feature game will play against this afternoon. John Epping has a 6-4 lead over Joe Franz, and he has the hammer in that game. They are also playing the 7th end. Cody Moss on the Seaside is up 3-2 over Mike McLean as they play in the 7th end. The other Seaside game had Greg Baldeston winning by a score of 7-2 over Rob Retchless, and that game has been completed. Mark KEAN not taking any chances here, just going to peel this stone out. Wow, he picked that off.
Great shot by Mark KEAN.
Yeah, it's real good.
That is an absolute great shot by Mark KEAN, because now all of a sudden he's keeping the force alive.
It's okay.
Do you do this?
It's going to take a couple shots for him to...
Well, you got to roll enough that he's not such a shot lead. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to make it good.
Yep. There he goes. There's our pick off across the face. Well done by Mark KEAN.
Double though, right? I think that's their best shot at 2. Gotta go. Maybe not. As long as you roll to here. Well, so is that. The tap is more precise. It's like a hair high.
Well, Mary, what would you do here?
I don't know, Ian. What would you do here?
She's still going to have like a pretty simple double.
Well, actually, the interesting part is that if you wanted to get, you're down 3 playing 7, so
Right. And then he's playing
1
that.
really doesn't do you very much here.
Right.
You're not definitely out of the game.
Yeah.
You've got to make sure you score this end. Period. He could actually tap it to create a pocket back there, and if he left the rocks on the correct angle to jam, then Mark KEAN would be pressured as to what he would do. Because at that point he's got to make a decision. He's just picking one off and almost conceding the deuce at that point. But if you ever misalign them, then he may have a simple double.
Clean. Whoa! Whoa! Yep! Oh! Yep! Yep! Hard!
Trying to hit this, and
Whoa, I don't know. Well, I didn't really curl, but...
Well, that'll leave a double here.
Try to make it over the top, or do you want to play first? It is safer.
Easier this way.
It is easy. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I'm not a fan when they try to talk the skip into something that's really not there. Like, I think this is a pretty routine nose hit. That's all you got to focus on. Make the nose hit. trying to slash it across the face to me is not really an option. That's not. You know, his concern is that if he floated it at all, he could if he could jam the yellow stone back on his blue and then give him a free draw for 3.
Wow, I don't think that's going to happen.
Well,
You'd hate to roll too far.
at this level, it definitely shouldn't happen.
No.
You just don't want to get focused on the wrong things here. We'll focus in here on Mark Keane's release.
Whoa! No, never.
See, he's popping that back. He throws it from a narrow position and he pops it back. But
Yeah.
looks like it's come up.
Hard, 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 hard.
And he gets it far enough. Oh, did it? Does he?
I think so.
Oh, it's really close.
Oh, this one's.
Yep.
Blues laying, Keane's laying 2.
Yeah.
Easy
Okay.
control.
But he's got a double here too now. Not
Well,
an easy one.
so this is one of those game-changing shots. You either, you know, because you need to make the double to get back in the game. You get 2 points, but if you give up a steal, like the game's almost out of reach.
Yeah. I think he's got to go for it though, Ian.
Probably going to throw a control weight hit here, try to make the double takeout and get your 2 points. This is a big game-changing shot here for Mark BICE.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep, yep. Whoa. Gotta go over the top.
Well, plan B worked.
Wow.
Wow. What a shot for Mark BICE. He was trying to catch it on the low side, but he catches it across the face, but it works. We're going to have a replay here from our crew at Title Sports Live here. Look at this, well swept.
Just hangs on for his 2 points.
You know, he gets a bit of a lucky break, but you know what? Hey, it happens in the game.
It does.
That's why there's 2 sides of the rock. So, completion of 7 ends of play here. Mark Keane will have a 6-5 lead. As we go into the 8th end, Mr. Keane will have the hammer. But like I say, you know what? If Mark BICE comes back and wins this game, that shot right there is the big key shot in the game.
Yeah, that was a big shot, and you know, it scores him 2 points, and now he's within 1 point in this game.
Let's keep our same rocks. Scotty knows it. Okay. We'll be a little careful with this level.
So 8th end of play here in this B semi.
Shoot.
It's gotta be over. Yeah.
Good shot.
Those are so hard.
Yeah. But you're good.
I know.
Well, that's great. That's a shot like that can change the team. You know, like look at them, like the shoulders are starting to go back a little bit more. They got a positive outlook in their faces now. They kind of go, you know, there's a chance.
There's a chance, yeah.
Line's good. Line's great. Okay, we're still good. Keep it clean, guys. Still good. Still good. No. Don't want it.
He's living that.
And then, you know, Stevie BICE puts a perfect center guard up, and, you know, that makes a big difference. Scott Brandon here keeps going deep, and that's going to play into the hands of Mark BICE.
That's absolutely. No, that's absolutely.
You know, that's one of those shots where, you know, maybe
No, that has to be a fast
maybe Mark Keane should be thinking about throwing it to the wings rather than throwing it to the center, because throwing it to the center, that's only going to help the BICE team mount a comeback.
Anyways, you're above the tee line. Sorry. No, it can't be short. I just heard that, and I was like,
Trying to get some separation here, these 2 guards.
anyways, points. Get one on top of it. We're good.
Chat. Yeah,
Steve BICE once again
Where?
makes that perfect center stone.
Where?
So this is a big shot by Brandon. He's got to get this in a position that they can use it and sort of cut off some angles from Mark BICE's team.
Calling in.
And this is staying way wide.
Wish we could get rid of those knocks.
Okay, Ty. Go on. Yeah, or just the. I like that.
Yeah.
Tyler Morgan going to be asked to just come down and tap the KEAN stone at the top of the 4-foot back and just try to create a pocket.
What? Back line, back line. Back line.
This one's running on him. Should not, yeah. That's better. I think you go on top again. We're only up 1. Or, I don't mind going for 1. Yeah, speed's real nice. Yeah.
Just give us a good like.
Should be pretty
Easy.
close. Go on right now. To it. T-line. T-line.
Surprising.
T-line. Back 4.
Especially when you're heavy.
No, it's
Brad Kidd trying to get in here, and
Hard. Keep going, Scott. Keep going.
wow,
right back.
that is disaster. This is exactly what Mark BICE is looking for once again. He's got 3 of the KEAN stones in behind the tee line.
Whatever you like. I like the end. I think it's just running more consistent.
Yeah.
Tyler Morgan going to try to lock one in there.
Tee out of your hand. And
Oh,
just
there.
kept going.
Why only?
T. No, back 4.
This thing is just walking over sideways.
Waiting that spot.
Tyler might have a rock that might be a little sharper than the rest.
Feel. You gotta feel. No.
It was 15 and a quarter from hog to hog.
Yeah.
It was there. Oh no, look at this.
You go right here. It's pretty good.
Okay.
For 2?
We like that at all?
Well, Mark KEAN's going to stay on the offense here and try and get Brad Kidd to wind one in here. Hopefully get position on the BICE team, but he's looking heavy here again.
Yep. Oh, Yep. Keep going.
Oh dear. There are 4 rocks there that Mark KEAN is just shaking his head.
Yeah, he's
He looked pretty confident with that.
definitely in good position here for the BICE team. Lock one in there.
Aaron Squires,
Should be there.
25-year-old from St. Thomas, former CIS curling champion back in 2015.
Line's good.
These guys are working this thing hard. I think is he short here? Actually, that's in a pretty good spot.
Really messy.
It's really messy.
Let's go.
I think Mr. KEAN here, I think they're going to call that timeout. I think they need to walk up
I wasn't throwing that heavy.
and peel the center guard. Otherwise, they are.
It's a
I
good
think
spot.
they're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Half-buried.
I think they need to make a double peel here.
No, you can't.
Maybe we can get in the
He's also
overhead
got
here.
this tap too.
The overhead, and we'll listen
He's
in.
got his 3 ways.
Well, we've
here.
got that too.
Oh, he's got that too.
Yeah.
I think we got to peel. We
Got
got it.
shots of this. Yeah, because then he's got the freeze, right?
I don't love that. I like peel.
You have to make the double. That's the problem, though.
Yeah,
Getting
you're
rid
right.
of ones doesn't
right.
do anything.
I don't know if I can nose that.
What if you try to just get in the inside of this and move it here? I think that's our best shot. Well, I don't think you want to tuck under. I think you want to leave it here. So when he makes this, you've got that.
Okay.
I like what Mark's thinking. He's rather than
Freeze it?
peeling,
Yeah.
if he can get to the inside of the yellow stone there and freeze right
I
in the
don't know what else
pocket.
to do. I mean, double peel's fine.
The only problem is he may
get rid of
get
one,
himself
it's gonna
in a
change
bit of a. The angles may not be perfect because then it will give Mark BICE the opportunity to tap his other stone there that's at the top 4 foot.
Right.
And then if he taps that, there's going to be no way of getting it out.
Yeah,
They
you
need
might
to
just
throw it
tap
down
it.
there, Cole. What do you like?
I was like trying to get the inside of this.
So much shit right
Bump
now.
it here.
You guys have it 3 fucking ways.
It's real good if you bump it right there. Nose. It's not that bad.
It's not the wrong call.
I
it's an
think we
aggressive
have
call.
to get one in here.
Back 4. Oh, freeze tap. Okay. So I'm thinking in my head, like throw like a tight guard,
So
right?
Colin Dow is just going to try to warp one in here on the intern side.
Whoa!
Get it to the inside if
Where?
you can.
Gotta go then.
Go!
Whoa! Scott in!
Close.
Scott in!
Yeah!
Scott in!
Hard!
Scott!
Hard!
In! Hard! Yes!
Sweet!
Yes!
They're going hard here, going hard.
Both of you. Not bad. No, it's good. No, both of you. Well, it was way out there, and then you guys got it going.
Or do we make the? I was thinking the in off now
good
before
spot.
they make it. I was thinking that before they make it. Kind of wait. Are we throwing a curve or?
So they're going to play the in-off here, Ian.
Well, I'm not sure they need to do that. Like if they tap their stone back, straight back, like even just straight back about 2 feet, I'm not sure how Mark KEAN ever gets it out.
Yeah.
You know, he can accomplish the same thing with this, but this is a difficult shot to get it in
Right.
there.
They commented that they're worried about leaving this for KEAN, but
Wow. Well, Ollie, this is the fine mess you've got made
It goes
into.
right here.
Yeah, it's never going anywhere, is it?
No.
oh dear. Yeah, we got quite a mess down here.
That's pretty good, isn't it? 7's not going anywhere, and if you stay right on the angle, it's perfect.
He's trying to throw like.
We're talking minute inches here now.
Okay.
If you miss-hit something
Getting
here,
there is
you're
not
going
that
to.
good.
If you ever clip the
Getting
top
here is
yellow.
not
I
that
don't mind
good.
leaving that.
How is this good? He just
Actually,
hammers that in and it goes right
for
in his
Mark
pocket.
BICE, he's got a really nice, really good situation. For Mark KEAN, he's in trouble here.
All right.
And what he doesn't want to do
was
is let him
thinking-
have a steal to get him right back into this game.
Yeah. Move this. Get this out of here. Yeah. Even if it goes there, like we'll have this. Yeah. Heel. Yep. Hard. Really gotta go.
Dow
hard.
looking a little tight here.
That's not terrible either. He's going to keep playing that. That'll get that to there.
He's about to take away all of it.
The only thing I'm worried about here, can we ever get, yeah.
You play it.
This is not that
You
hard.
play it with weight, try to hit the roll and go.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you ever want to throw a hit, because if you ever get rid of any of those rocks at the back, those are all your savers right now.
Yeah.
But then he taps that.
You may want to just
And I'll have my
tap his stone, or tap your own stone,
But there
and
won't
just
be
try
any
to get
room
their
for
rock to
anything else.
maybe the back of the forefoot.
This?
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
this is what I'm
That's
thinking.
tough, but we can get there. And if we come up,
The Yellowstone right at 12 o'clock, top of the button there. If you just tapped it back onto the blue, push the blue back, you might even be a little late too. I guess the only problem is Mark can still get to his blue stone, so you may give him. He might be able to smash all those out of there at that point. So, real nice shot right there. Mark BICE just going to try to warp another one in here.
oh, oh, yep, hard, oh, yep, good.
What was this? Yeah. 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 Yes. Yes. Yeah.
If he could get to the nose of his blue, how many yellows would disappear?
Don't want to move the yellow at all.
Go back to our overhead shot here.
I don't mind normal. You don't have to throw a bullet.
No, you just
As long
gotta
as
get.
you just kick it to here.
Yeah. You get it just a hair low. Perfect. Normal.
I don't know, Ian, if you hit that blue one.
Just can't touch that yellow. But I think you can.
I think you could get 3 yellows going.
Normal.
Make your life a lot easier, and I think you may not be shot rock,
Right.
but at least you'd have a last rock. Because I think right now,
Whoa! Whoa! No! Close.
Whoa. Yep.
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa. Hard Brad, hard Brad, hard Brad.
Didn't curl up enough for him.
Jeez.
Just enough to get shot.
Wow, there's some interesting options available here to Mark BICE now. Does that get it out of there, though?
Yeah.
Back to our overhead shot for a second here. I think Mark's just going to try to come down on that top, the rock at the top of the button there. Just try to tap it back, tap freeze, and get shot. He'll be laying 2 at that point. Very interesting end, some really interesting angles. But he's got to cap this off right here.
Yep. Yep. Whoa. How much? Yep. Hard. Hard. Oh. 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 Hard on the blue. Hard on the blue. Good. Great shot. Lovely.
Well, that leaves BICE sitting 2.
Wow,
How do you do
and
that?
even, yeah. Well, you could hit this thing really, really hard and hope that the yellows, that top yellow there spins
have
all the
count
way
on the others
out.
if we get
It's
it
going
in
to
there?
go off the yellow, hopefully off the blue, and then spin
I'm
all
not
the way
talking
back
about-
out.
that's
That's
the only
about
thing.
your only opportunity.
We'll now count these 2 if we get this in here and get this one out to here. Well, it's touching it. It's going to nudge it out to here.
Just don't want the 6 to go under the 3.
Well, you know, when you're down in the game and you don't have the hammer, this is the identical end that you kind of want to play. And Mr. Mark BICE and his team has done a great job getting their rocks in front of the tee line.
Border.
Anywhere a little high. Anywhere high is good. You can play whatever weight you want.
Like right there, board.
Eh? Eh?
One other final to report out here this morning.
Move the 2 as
The
well.
Cody Moss rink has eliminated the Mike McLean rink.
Just nose the board.
So
Okay.
Cody Moss will carry on in our Seaside section of the draw.
You got it.
Cody Moss will go on to play Greg Ballsden this afternoon at 2:30.
In God's name, are we? I don't know. I don't know.
John Epping continues to lead by a score of 7-4 over Joe Franz.
So Mark KEAN here is going to play the blue onto the yellows here, Ian.
Well, this is a little bit of a hit and hope.
Yes. Hope he can squirt them out.
Whoa! 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 Close!
No.
Whoa!
Oh,
little
he's
out
thrown this
there.
wide.
Whoa!
Oh God, this is looking like disaster.
Scotty! I think we're okay. Yeah.
Just one.
Yellow. Okay.
After all that. Whew.
That was almost looking like complete disaster.
It was.
So Mark BICE will steal 1 point here and tie this game up at 6 at the completion of 8 ends of play.
Yeah, it was one yellow.
Make some shots. Go to the bathroom. That? Well, we're going around because there's only 2 centered, right? Oh, man. Colin.
Yep.
Colin.
Okay. No. Yeah, I got you. Oh boy. It's fighting the release today. Well, with 1 point lead, we should have been peeling.
Yeah, so this has become a game now here, Ian.
It's too late for that. We got a 1 point lead.
Well, you listen into the guys, and you start to think they're thinking back to the end that they got a 1 point lead with a hammer, and they should have been peeling. Yeah, you're correct. You should have done that early in the end.
Exactly.
Well, this is not what Mark BICE wanted. Stevie BICE slips his guard into the rings, and
want normal?
this is exactly what Mark KEAN would like to sort of right the ship after that end.
All right. Clean. Just clean. Clean.
Going to give Scott Brandon the opportunity to play the open hit and hang around. And he does that successfully.
Thanks. Thank you.
Wow, I'm surprised that Mark would actually hit that.
Yeah.
I thought he would take advantage of at least trying to throw the wing, another center guard, and even force, if he can get him into a force of one this end,
Okay.
kind of done his job. Now we're very likely to see a blank end.
Yeah.
Mind you, I guess Mark BICE likes his chances of stealing a point in the 10th end.
You didn't trust it. Didn't trust you. Didn't think you could get it there on your own.
Right through if it's not stopping there. Yeah. Call.
Oh, that's good. Do you think it was slower? That's pretty terrible. It's all right, bud. Hey? I kept thinking it was going to slow down a little bit. I didn't think that was back there.
Scott throwing his rock through the rings there on a free draw, and now this is going to give Tyler Morgan the opportunity to throw the center guard back up.
Yeah, you're right. It's right back there.
Which we will see them continue to try to peel. Update from one of the other B-side game going on. Joe Franz picked up 2 points in the 8th end. Will trail by a score of 7-6 as they play the 9th end of play. Well done by Brad Kidd. Tyler Morgan replaces that center stone. I'm just really curious why Mark on Stevie's second stone would not throw up the center guard, because they couldn't peel it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, hard. Really hard.
Oh, yep, hard!
I think this thing's picking. Wow.
What the hell?
Well, they got away with it.
Threw it that bad.
Ian, touchwood, we have not even really seen a pick out here this week.
No, correct.
Yeah.
First pick we've seen.
The Curl on Ice crew has done a fantastic job here this week, headed by Darren Sinclair and Scott Muir. I know they had some interesting times scraping one of the sheets where the blades seemingly dug into the blades into the ice, and so they had to delay the game a little bit. Must have put the rookie guy on the blade that day.
They must have picked.
So KEAN will keep peeling away here. He's in a good position to blank this end now.
Clean. Throw, Colin.
I think the ice has been keener than they normally play on. Like, I think a lot of the events they play in all year long, the ice is probably in around 14 and a half seconds from hog to hog. This week we've seen it usually up around 15 and a half. But it's perfect ice for sweepers to place the stone. Well, Mark KEAN's going to be content to keep peeling these center guards here. And eventually, I'm sure Mark BICE will actually come down and try to freeze to this rock in the back of the 12-foot.
Yep.
Colin Dow, 29-year-old from...
Yep. Clean.
Where does Colin Dow live?
Nice throws. Really nice.
Yeah, that's a good one. His idea was it made his games 10.
Colin Dow's from Ottawa, just so we know. Mark BICE even throwing up the center guard on his. Mark KEAN will just peel that off, and then I would think that Mark BICE will come down and freeze to this rock and try to freeze to the rock in the back of the 12-foot. Let's see if he can force him to one.
Whoa. No.
Uh-oh. He has floated this thing out. He's missed it. Oh, no.
Oh, he just...
Just enough. Just enough.
Third one, danger.
So Mark BICE going to try to make the perfect freeze here.
Hey, Mark.
Mark KEAN on his interns, he's kind of fought the floating him back right now.
Yeah.
So you just wonder if Mark BICE will try to key in on that late in the 10th end.
Get me to the finish line.
We're trying.
Just right at the end, eh? Sliver tight and then feeding it huge.
Yeah. You're overcompensating.
Yeah.
For your slide.
Mark BICE is out turn draw on the way here.
To the broom in that spot. You don't have to.
His last rock here in the 9th end of play.
You can just get to the broom there, and the guys will drag it the rest of the way.
1475 for a freeze in the back of the rings.
All right, bud. Yep. You got it.
Mark KEAN just going to try to pick this thing out and blank the end and retain the hammer going into the 10th end.
Oh man, I'm getting my head's hurting watching these. I have a heart attack over here. Let's see one straight. And then knows it.
Nice clean release that time.
Clean. Whoa. Whoa. Off. Whoa. Off. Still going out.
Just.
Once again.
That was the spot. You actually threw that pretty good.
He gets about it.
Yeah, he threw that well, Ian.
Well, it does. So it's tough to tell if he's if his slide line is right at the broom or if he's sort of narrow and he's kind of sort of going back when he releases it. But anyways, that's a blank end here in the 9th end of play. Mark KEAN will keep the hammer going into the 10th end.
I was really surprised.
And the BICE team is going to have to put on their steel caps to keep themselves alive on this B side.
It's tricky because you got to throw a lot less weight on this ice.
Yeah, and these rocks too.
You can't throw hack. You have to throw like back line.
Like back line.
Back line.
I would be feeling. You know it. We're pretty bad at judging that.
We've gone around a couple times and we got screwed because we haven't made them high enough.
Yeah. Or your T-line.
Top four even is not great.
So just going to put this first guard just over the hog line. Or try. These are not easy, Ian.
Oh, I know. I think they'll make a call on it out of his hand, whether it's going to be the close one or the high one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, first and foremost, they want the rock in play.
In the free guard zone, yeah.
Correct, exactly.
Yeah.
And these guys almost overcooked it.
I know they were. I was thinking, okay, don't put it in the house.
Mark KEAN is going to get Scott Brandon here to try to tick this rock off the center line. This line's looking really good right now. If he removes it from play, it goes back to where it was.
Nice.
Great job by Scott just to get it off that 4-foot area. I think that's all that Mark KEAN is looking for, is make sure that 4-foot area is open so he can draw there with his last stone to win this game.
It's tough.
Mark BICE looking to replace his center guard here.
Wait was beauty. With that rock, we said it might be a, yeah. It's a good point. Yeah.
Scott will try another attempt at this tick shot.
Little more. Hair more.
Yep. Hard. Really gotta go. Oh. Yep.
Little more.
Whoa. Whoa.
More.
Colin. No.
Really good looking shot. Is it too heavy?
Scott.
Oh, perfectly done by Scott Brandon.
Attaboy.
Those could be 2 game winners right there. Mary?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now it's just a matter of
At least he won't jam to the pin.
KEAN team making their peels.
Well, even the, I know Mark KEAN's down there and he's inside that he's absolutely glowing because, you know, he's hoping he doesn't have to navigate any front stones to make a big shot with his last one. You know, they can hopefully routinely keep peeling here from here on out through the rest of this end. And he's probably hoping he's got an open hit with his last one.
Yeah.
he said begrudgingly.
Tyler Morgan replaces the center stone, and Brad Kidd about to peel this off.
Yep. Yeah, drag it back. Pull it back. Clean. Yep, yep, yep. Hard. Keep going. Nice sweep, guys.
Well done by Brad Kidd.
You know draw weight, though? Is that? 410 still?
So this is a little interesting tactical call, Mary. He's trying to throw up, get it off the center line
into that area
and a little bit more of a corner guard.
Going for the yellow and jam it.
So whether he wants him to force him to drive it into his own other two stones on that side of the sheet,
All right.
and maybe he gets a lucky break off one of those.
Right.
Yep.
I'm surprised that Mark's biting on this a little bit. I think I would still peel it into the other reds on the other side of the sheet. Good looking shot coming from. Great shot from Brad Kidd.
That?
Aaron Squires looking to replace the guard once again as we compete here in this 10th end of play. B-side semifinal match between Mark KEAN and Mark BICE.
Still like this?
Sure.
Yeah?
This recharge with milk men's tankard. We'll have B-side qualifying game this afternoon at 2:30, and then C-side qualifying games this evening at 7:30.
A lot of ice.
And then we get into tomorrow's Page playoff games. Mary,
Yes.
we've got
Glenn Howard's already got his spot in that,
Broke, okay?
winning
You're not
last
throwing that
night
bad.
against John Epping.
Take tighter ice.
Like that, yeah, that was just, I thought I threw that great.
he looked like a 16-year-old kid last night when he made that big shot to win the game.
Did he say that?
He sure did.
Yeah.
And well deserved. He just made a couple of great shots in that game.
I was running, like I let go, I'm like that's about as good as I can throw at. Oh, okay. It just like straightens the hair at the end. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like the BICE team has chosen to come around this one now, Ian.
Well, I think at this point their modus operandi is they would love to see Mark KEAN have to throw against two stones.
Top one is
Yeah.
fine.
They're trying to get anything established that's relatively close to the 4-foot or even the button.
Yeah, it should be close.
It's tough when you're down to you've got 3 rocks left and there's no center guards. Like I'm surprised that that he's going after this sort of that shot stone rather than just ripping the double.
Yeah.
Brad!
Brad!
Hard Brad. Hard Brad. No roll, no roll, no roll. Okay.
Mark's hoping that he stays for shot stone.
Call.
Let's go to our overhead view and see who is shot. And I think yellow is probably still shot at the top of the house.
It doesn't go anywhere. Just straightens up in that spot, eh?
Yeah.
I think both of those I threw real good.
Yeah, real good throw.
shot?
I don't know.
Overhead shot.
From here, it looks like it is. But get over the top of that one. Wouldn't bet the game on it.
Overhead shot if you can.
What do you like if he sinks this? Make him try a double?
Yeah, try the double, or if you want, get a practice draw.
Yeah. Why not?
Get a practice draw. If he noses it, he noses it back, and you win. No worries. All good, thanks.
Mark going to try to replace that stone, try to get buried even if he's back of the 8 foot here. I think it looks like he's going to be light here.
Take a quick look. I don't think it's us anymore.
Here we go, Ian.
No.
There's the overhead. Looks like blue.
Yeah, from our overhead there, it looks like it might be blue. I don't know. I still think that I think he can just rip these two things and roll his shooter out.
One here. Throw here, and if he hits it, you just nose back, and you're done. Yeah. Right there. Okay. Edge? Edge or more? Mark, edge or more?
Edge.
Edge? Okay.
Well, the only place you can't put it is back of the button.
Behind the tee, that's right.
First
I want to
thing
give
love the
Mark
double,
Bison
but the problem
out.
is, where does the shooter go?
Put this top 4.
Yeah.
I know I wouldn't bet the game on it, but I
I guess
do think
Bice
it's
might just tap it back.
I'd
and
rather have the practice.
I'm not trying to play with it.
try to sit shot rock.
Oh, okay.
Well, they obviously must think that they are shot rock at the back there. Otherwise, I think they would definitely be hitting
Yeah.
those two stones. But those are the only two stones that are any danger to him. I'm surprised that he's just not throwing a peel at it, and they both kind of splash out pretty easily, roll your shooter out, and then it's an empty house. And I'm not sure what Mark Bice would do at that point. He'd probably come down and freeze to that to
the blue.
the KEAN stone,
Yeah.
but then Mark could just follow him down with his last one.
Yeah, it looks super heavy. Just if you're back 8, just make sure
Now,
it's
see,
there.
this
I
is
think,
heavy.
anyway. Just make sure you're full back 8. Easy. You're there. You're there.
Easy, guys.
Okay. Good.
Set. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah.
So that does give Bice a
Mark.
chance here to come around Ian and be shot rock.
Good.
That's late.
Hey.
That is so fast.
Yeah, I think right now that Mark Bice's only opportunity, he wants to show him a corner in behind his own stones here. He gets buried, half buried, full 8 foot there. Just show him a little corner, and he might chase it.
Yeah.
That's all you're trying to do. It's like that's why you want to show him a corner, like even half the rock, and it's like you get the fishing rod out. You're just trying to hook him, and get him to chase you. You know, mind you. His first rock there is like a practice rock, draw to the button.
Yeah.
Should know the path, you know the ice, you know the sweepers know the weight, so hopefully you're all dialed in.
I think I can throw an 88 there. So 4 would be good with no sweeping. So I could probably throw like a 410, 420.
Yep.
The way they can drag it.
So last rock here for Mark Bice
For sure.
in this 10th end.
You probably need to touch 4.
Yeah.
Wants to come around these corners. And these rock half exposed.
Winner of this game will go into the B final game this afternoon at 2:30 up against the winner of John Epping and Joe Franz. John Epping with a 3-point lead playing the 10th end there.
Line's tight. Steve.
Well, he's looking like he's got a lot of weight here though too.
You kind of have to. Yep. Whoa.
You got it?
I got it.
Okay.
I'm thinking he's heavy, and Mark KEAN will not have to throw his last stone, so that will be a 8-6 victory for Mark KEAN over Mark BICE here this morning. It'll give Mark KEAN an opportunity to play for that coveted second spot in the 1-2 page playoff game this afternoon at 2:30. Our other game out here this morning is, like I said earlier, John Epping leads 9-6 as they play the 10th end. So from our whole crew at Title Sports Live, we are here at the Men's Recharge with Milk Tankard. We will see you this afternoon at 2:30 for the men's B-side final game.
It takes every end. Yeah, every end.